What's up, everybody? Welcome into your Buckeye Rush Hour for a Monday, May 22nd, 2023. How's everybody doing? Robert Allen, I see you in the chat already. Thank you for joining the TBC Friends group. Welcome in. How are you doing today, Robert? We're talking the top college football rankings according to PFF today. Let me see. I think Sean's going to join us here momentarily. And it's
yes,
he's
sir.
popping in right now.
I am in. I think. Can you hear me?
Oh, I got to put in my headphones. That would probably be helpful. I don't usually wear these for the rush hours because I'm alone.
Talking to yourself.
As usual. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Not much. I can only hear you in one of my ears, so loving that. Big fan
What are you
of the
getting into?
AirPods.
We're talking. Yeah, I know.
We're talking.
Those are trash.
We're ranking the well, we might be re-ranking these this PFF list of the top 10 college football coaches. We're not going to go through all 25, but PFF put out a list the other day. Yeah. What's up, Billy? I see you. Billy's a TBC friend. We got Robert. He's just joined the club. So we got 2 TBC friends already in the group.
Nice. Welcome.
Yeah. Just got done recording a ton of videos. Got to crank these out. People want content. I'll give you content. Yeah. I hear you.
Are you content?
Are you content with this content? Dirty little, no. So yeah, let me lay this out for you. I'm going to give you the top 10 according to PFF. So going into 2023, your number 1 coach is Nick Saban. Number 2 is Kirby Smart. Number 3, Jim Harbaugh. Number 4, Dabo Swinney. Number 5, Lincoln Riley. Number 6, Brian Kelly. Number 7, Ryan Day from your Ohio State Buckeyes. Number 8, Kyle Whittingham. Number 9, Luke Fickell. And number 10, James Big Game Franklin. So, where do you want to start there, Sean? You want to start at the top or the bottom, or you want to start at making fun of Harbaugh first? Because we can do that for 30 minutes.
You can't do anything but put Nick Saban at number 1. The resume speaks for itself. Recruiting, the teams, the championships. It's
dude, your audio is
it's the easiest. If it was the all-time greatest coach list, you still put him 1, so active. But so that you need to just look over, and you're really starting with number 2. Back to back, that ain't easy. Doesn't have a ton of skill, in my opinion.
Right.
And then you come to Harbaugh, which to me is just, I guess we're ranking these on this coming year and what's going on at that. But as I think I mentioned last night, they were ready to put a bullet in Harbaugh's head 2 years ago. It was exactly. Get rid of him. He's a bum. He's not our guy. And then, Kieran beating Ohio State will Kirk's now against Ohio State 2-7, something in that range, and still can't win a bowl game or a playoff game. So
right.
I don't know. Is Harbaugh that good? I'm not buying it. I'm selling that shit.
Yeah, I agree.
I would.
What's that?
Yeah, I'm not in. I'm just not in on that. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Billy brings up the point I really wanted to focus on is he says, what's the logic behind putting Lincoln Riley and Brian Kelly ahead of Ryan Day? That I've got the biggest problem with that. What has Lincoln Riley ever done in a national scope other than put a couple guys in the Heisman Trophy ceremony. You know, he hasn't done anything in the playoffs. He won, let's see, in 5 years at
No.
Oklahoma, he won 4 Big 12 championships, got to the playoffs 3 times, and they've never won a game. You know, Brian Kelly, similar deal
But
there.
I mean, but who else has a better resume than that above guys that are ranked above him? I think guys have potential, but I mean, Lincoln Riley is, going to a big, going to start, keeping those, try and put some fences up and, keep everybody west of the Mississippi again. And obviously you've seen what's going on and some of the kids he's getting. His recruiting stepping up, and he is an offensive mind. I actually put him and Ryan Day to me are right now kind of interchangeable, because just like you said, I feel Ryan Day's resume is similar. It's not quite as long, but been to the playoff a couple times. Have actually won a game.
Right.
Went there as an offensive coordinator as well, and just hasn't, came home with the ultimate prize yet. But again, Ryan Day's got that young mojo, hot coach, hot offense. Kids want to come here, good assistants, and I think Lincoln Riley brings that same kind of vibe, even though he seems like a total douchebag and Ryan Day's sweet.
Yeah, right. I guess my issue with Lincoln Riley is I don't know. I almost think James Franklin is closer to Lincoln Riley in quality of seasons. Look at he's got 4 11-win seasons at Penn State. And playing in the Big Ten East, man, that's not easy. Especially with Michigan getting much better, and the Buckeyes been so dominant. But I think Ryan Day and Brian Kelly's the other one. This guy hasn't done anything. He got smoked every time they go to the playoffs at Notre Dame. Went to the national championship game, went back in the BCS, got buried there by Bama. So he's got some top 10 finishes. He got Cincinnati into the top 10. Yeah.
I don't really get the love affair with him, frankly. I mean, he's put together some good teams, but at good programs where, I mean, you're expecting, you're basically given 9 wins in
right.
In those programs. You got to win a couple games and that's it. And then when you face the big teams in the playoffs or you get smoked. So yeah, I don't know what the love affair with him is all about. I would actually put Dabo up there before most of these guys, because what Dabo did there for his little stretch. But again, I don't know where their numbers are. Like the guys that they think are going to be, basically they're just ranking teams almost, it seems to me.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy's got to be good this year.
Yeah. Yeah, that is, I mean, part of it is, what team does he coach, in each of these cases. But I guess I think a lot of people have recency bias too with Brian Kelly, getting into the SEC. They won their division, getting into the championship game and stuff. So I don't know. But yeah, Dabo, he just hasn't done much in the last couple of years. He's been kind of slow to evolve with, college football in the portal, NIL, all that stuff. And he was doing NIL before it was legal,
Oh, shucks.
Yeah, exactly. So, he hired a bunch of douchebags couple of years ago on his offensive staff and basically ruined DJU, the quarterback, a 5-star talent, and ran him out of town. So I I think Dabo's time is kind of past him. He's definitely not a Nick Saban type where he's going to just reign for 20 years, 30 years, and win multiple championships. I think it's going to be really hard for them to get back to a championship anytime soon.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, the playoffs are changing, but they still got an easy in that conference. It's been an easy in for him. And he's taken full advantage of it. Plays powder puff football, 8 games a year. And, but the guy shows out, he gets his guys ready. I mean, the whooping they put on us alone, nightmares about that.
Yeah, exactly.
But when I think of the revenge tour, that helps me sleep.
Yeah, right. Yeah, with Harbaugh, he still hasn't won in the playoffs. I know they just made it, twice now.
Not only is he not winning the playoffs, but he's 2-6 or 2-5 against Ohio State. He's the guy finally does something because he does have a loaded roster. But again, I think playing in the last 2 years, I think it's been a down Big Ten, frankly, except for Ohio State. I mean, I think it's been soft. I think he's finally winning the games he can, but the guy's the worst. Like, watch any big game, whether it's an Ohio State game, a Michigan State game. The guy is not a good in-game coach.
Yeah.
I can't believe he relates to recruits all that well.
Yeah, it is surprising.
But I do think his formula is, the ground and pound Bo Schembechler man ball approach works in Michigan. And he's I think this year and last year he's finally got a quarterback that's, above just a mediocre guy, and that's really all that Harbaugh's ever relied on, whether it was luck or whomever. It's exceptional quarterback play that gets him to where he's at. I guess it's been running backs kind of for us, but a lot of that was opened up by the quarterbacks. They carved us up nice. And I just don't buy it with Harbaugh. I don't. And I mean, they are a loaded team, but Harbaugh's as big a question mark. You could watch them drop 3 games, 2 that they shouldn't, just over boneheaded shit, because Harbaugh's a stubborn old prick.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing is, his offense his team is built to win the Big Ten, not to win national championships. He's running a very old style offense of pound it, and don't let the quarterback make too many mistakes. And that's not going to get it done against Alabama and Georgia. They brought in the speed and space guy. He was there for a cup of coffee. Was he there for? And then he's like, "I'm getting the hell out of here. This ain't no speed and space." Right. Well, yeah, he was still OC when his last year, when was it 2021 when it was 2021 when Harbaugh he started calling the plays. You could tell Gaddis was just sitting up there hanging out.
I think he told Gaddis, he's like, "No, I love the idea, the concept, speed and space, but the space you got's a phone booth."
Exactly. Yeah. That space right between the guard and the tackle. That's it.
Yeah. Right.
So, and the NFL rumors, every offseason, that still bothers me. Just when you think about recruiting and just being coached by a guy that's supposed to be a leader of men, right? He's supposed to be someone you can look up to, who does things the right way, doesn't ever want to leave your program. At least he shouldn't, outwardly show it like Harbaugh does. That bothers me still. I
think a little bit of that gets overhyped. Every coach that's worth his salt is getting NFL calls each year. The difference is Harbaugh almost solicits it. And frankly, nobody wants him. He's like, "Okay, how about I'll interview with you? And how about you? Will you take my interview? Will you guys look at me?"
Right. Yeah. He's actively seeking it. Yeah, that's the problem. So yeah, who else do we have here? You got Saban and Kirby. I don't know. Yeah. I've seen some other lists where Kirby is actually number one. I definitely don't agree with that. But
Well,
yeah,
again, it's like, right now Kirby's got the mojo, but yeah, I'm not betting against Nick Saban.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Billy brings up a good point in the chat. He says I hate to say it, but they're recruiting better than they have for a while. Exactly. Yeah, they are. Can they maintain this momentum? They had a lot of momentum last year in the offseason, and Harbaugh went interviewing for NFL jobs again and kind of killed all that momentum they could have had. So they had to dip into the portal pretty heavy. Worked for them, obviously. They brought in some O-line talent and really helped them out. But yeah, we'll see if their recruiting can maintain this top 5 level, because they haven't done it yet under Harbaugh anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree. And they're sitting with a pretty good class now. They've got, some good talent lately at the skill positions and making it tough. But their defense, to me, it's kind of been a weakness in their recruiting, other than what's that freshman cornerback out of Will Johnson.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That kid's a stud.
Yeah, he's going to be a good one.
But that wasn't like it was a big national recruiting haul either. That kid's from, over at Grosse Pointe South or something like that, or, an hour from campus. So he might even have ties in there. So it's not like he went down to Georgia and ripped that kid. I
believe his dad did play at Michigan. And so no credit for keeping an in-state kid in state, Same for Ohio State. I think people forget that, especially Buckeye fans. We forget that, you're supposed to keep the good ones in your state. You're supposed to keep them home, So who else on this list? What about Luke Fickell at 9? Is that surprising to you? Because he hasn't coached a Power 5 team yet.
He's not, but what he's done with outside the Power 5 is, pretty damn good. And this will be the test again. The way this sounds to me, this is about potential. And Luke Fickell, after his little half stint at Ohio State, really turned it around and built Cincinnati. I mean, that's where good coaches are born. It seems Cincinnati puts out coaches. It'd be interesting up at Wisconsin. I think that suits him well, his style. And again, to me, when we talk about coaches and whatnot, there's no one in the country right now that I'd rather have than Ryan Day. I wouldn't want Kirby Smart, Saban, nobody. I like who we got. If that were to change anytime in the coming up years, the first guy that would pop into my mind would be like, well, what's Luke Fickell doing? And if he keeps building that resume, he'd love to come home.
Yep. Yeah, I think he would be a shoe-in candidate, and he just has to keep building that resume, right? I mean, which he's doing, obviously, graduating from, the group of 5 to the Power 5, in the Big Ten as well. So a serious conference that has good cash, and hopefully Wisconsin's willing to spend it. I hope we get that TV deal signed before the season starts. That might be helpful, right? When we're spending money.
Yeah, I was just listening to the radio before I chimed in on here, and the local guy up here was banging on the Big Ten for shooting themselves in the foot, committing Harry Carey on themselves. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, fucking. Oh man, Kevin
can we lay
this
this at the feet of the? Do we lay this at the feet of the new commissioner?
It's his job now. Yeah, he's. I guess he's scrambling and trying to iron everything out. He's having to pull a lot of deals and deal with a lot of shit. But the big problem is the money that he's got to go ask all these athletic departments for in the Big Ten. because they owe Fox like 40 million. Apparently Kevin Warren promised NBC they would get the Big Ten championship game in a couple of years, like 2026, I think. And that's great, but they don't own the rights to that. Fox does. So now since they're giving it to NBC, all the Big Ten schools have to pay back this 40 mil. And there's another like 30 mil that they got to pay Fox for another Kevin Warren promise. And so he really stuck it to everybody and just left it hanging.
So what are you saying? We still hate Kevin Warren, but do we hate the new guy yet? Because this shit needs done.
No,
I mean, I can't believe that it's been, I feel like the Kevin Warren leaving thing's been months ago, and why are we back up against it now? Like, let's get this shit done.
Right. Yeah. Well, that guy's only been in office for like less than a month. So
okay.
Maybe even less than that. It might've been early in May when he started, but yeah, he's kind of working double time, I think, to iron out these contracts and actually put pen to paper and get them done. So it seems like the NBC part of it is the messy part right now anyway, but I'm sure it'll get worked out. But these ADs, especially at some of these penny pincher universities, are really not happy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know how something like that gets done without, everybody signing up and signing off on something like this, and not just, you got to come do you got to go, hey, look, man, I need that 30 mil.
Yep.
By next Friday, or
yeah,
they're cutting the lights off, man.
Yeah. Louis Rocco helped the judge find his checkbook. Yeah. So we'll go for a couple more minutes. We're going to keep this to a tight 30. Probably have some more people go back and rewatch after the live stream ends, but appreciate Billy hopping in here. Robert Allen, appreciate you hopping into the TBC Friends group. And what else we got going on this week, Sean? Got some good topics in the Daily Blitz. Wednesday, I think we're going to talk a little. Let's talk about defense. Going to go offense. We could talk some rankings.
Dealer's choice.
All right.
I got an opinion. I'll tell it to you.
Sounds good. All right. Well,
it stinks, but it's mine.
Like assholes.
That's right.
Yeah. Are you traveling this week?
No, I'm not. Not this week, but there will be some Sunday shows and that coming up. Where, back to the land of the rising sun.
Friend of mine is there. He mostly goes to Korea when he has to go over there, but he had to go to Japan during his like a 10-day trip, and he found Blanton's Black Label, which I can never find, for $37.
Really?
I said, dude, send yourself a fucking case or two and send me one. I'll give you like $500 for one.
Is Blanton's Black Label like more rare than the regular Blantons?
I read before that it's only sold in Asia. So it's not readily available here in the States unless you get somebody that, sends some back across the pond,
right, to
the US, which is, rare, I'm sure. So,
yeah, but you can always bring in a couple bottles. I'm going there in a couple weeks, so I'll try and find some.
I should find out. I think he's already on his way back. I should have asked him where he got it. I don't even know what city he was in. But $37 for any Blantons is awesome.
Yeah, it's better than the $1.50, $1.60 I paid.
Exactly. Yep. That's about what I'm seeing around here. So, all right. Well, about 5 o'clock. So appreciate you
All right,
hopping
man.
on, Sean. I'll hit you up on Wednesday and see if you want to pop in.
Sounds good.
All right. Talk to you later.
Peace.